Canadian filmmaker John Grayson is now comfortable in the media spotlight. He was arrested in Egypt last year, held for 50 days. His imprisonment heavily publicized. It became a cause for celebrities and politicians alike.
The fact that petitions were being signed by, in our case, Ben Affleck and Charlize Theron, and our cellmate said, who? But they were impressed by Robert De Niro, so that was sort of cool.
The Egyptians also heard the call for his release from Canada's Prime Minister, but Stephen Harper has so far stayed silent on the case of Canadian-Egyptian journalist Mohamed Fahmy, who along with Beher Mohamed and correspondent Peter Gresta and Al Jazeera Arabic's Abdullah Al-Shami are all in prison in Egypt. The editor of the leading newspaper believes he knows what's behind the different treatment.
Unfortunately, I think this has been dismissed as a case that is not involving a full Canadian, which we've editorialized against. He has full rights as a Canadian to consular support.
He was speaking at this press conference hosted by Al Jazeera to bring attention to their imprisonment and the harsh conditions two were living in.
Beher Mohamed and my fellow Canadian, Mohamed Fahmy, have had to cope with particularly appalling conditions. They've been held in times in cells with no access to light, little food or water, cells infested with insects, all the while being forced to sleep on the floors without blankets or pillows.
The three Al Jazeera English employees are now being held in a cell together, but the message from this group, it isn't enough.
Journalism is not terrorism.
Most Canadians don't really know about this story. It hasn't gotten a lot of media attention, which is why the network hosts these kinds of events, hoping that the people will pressure their governments to say something. They're also hoping that the average person will weigh in with this simple sign. These pictures are spreading on social media, the images of so many sending a powerful message from the mostly powerless. They are not politicians or celebrities, but their message is clear: free the journalists, free speech. Patty Culhane, Al Jazeera, Toronto.